In this last lesson about algebraic fractions, when you're adding and subtracting, we're going to look at slightly more complex denominators. Here's the first example, 3 over x plus 1 plus 4 over x plus 2. So when you're looking for a common denominator here, what we did before when there was numbers in the bottom, we just multiplied the numbers together. And you do exactly the same thing here. The common denominator is going to be x plus 1 times x plus 2. Now how do we write that? We just put them both in brackets and set them next to each other like this. Now to get the top line, what did you do to x plus 1 to get this bottom line? Well, we times it by x plus 2, so you do exactly the same to the top, to do 3 bracket x plus 2. And on the other side, you times x plus 2 by x plus 1, so we need to do the same to the top. So we put 4 bracket x plus 1, which looks like that. Now, if you set all of that, we've now got a common denominator, so set all of that all over the common denominator. It's going to look like this. Now it's just the same as before. If you times out your brackets, 3 lots of x, 3x, 3 times 2, 6. 4 lots of x, 4x. 4 ones are 4. And then finish off by doing a bit of simplifying. 3x add 4x, and 6 add 4, give me 7x and 10. Now the bottom doesn't change, you don't multiply this out or anything, just leave it x plus 1, x plus 2. Okay, let's try the same thing with a takeaway. So common denominator, just set them next to each other in brackets. X minus 1, x plus 3. Now what did you do to x minus 1? You times by x plus 3, so do the same to the top. So I have a 2 bracket x plus 3. What did you times this by? You times it by x minus 1, so do the same to the top. 5 bracket x minus 1. It's going to look like that. Yeah, diagonally did that kind of thing you were doing before. Diagonally times up, and you'll see it down here. And diagonally times up, and you'll see it over here. So you've got a common denominator now, so just set it all over the x minus 1, x plus 3. Make sure you put a takeaway in the middle this time. So if you times the brackets out, you're pretty much there. Now again, just be careful with the negative 5 here. 2 times x is 2x, 2 3s are 6. Minus 5 times x, that's minus 5x, and minus 5 times minus 1 is plus 5. It's going to go like that. Okay, so to tidy up, 2x take away 5x, plus 6 plus 5. So that's negative 3x plus 11. And then don't do anything with the bottom, just leave it as it is. Okay, 2 more examples to go. What happens if you don't have x plus 2 and x plus 1 and things like that? Right, common denominator. Well, you do the same thing. You times your x by x plus 2. So make sure you put the x plus 2 in the brackets. The x doesn't need to go in any brackets because it's only one term, but the x plus 2 will, and it will look like that. Now, what do we do here? Well, how did you get from x to x bracket x plus 2? You times the bottom by x plus 2, so diagonally do the same to the top. So it's going to be 3 bracket x plus 2. And then what do we do over here? Well, we times x plus 2 by x, so do the same to the top, and that's going to become a 5x. Okay, so written a bit neat. That's what it looks like, a bit neater and tidier. So all over the common denominator now, so just put it together with a plus in the middle. Now to finish off, a bit of multiplication of brackets, 3x, that's 3 times x, and 3 2s are 6. It's going to look like that. And if you just tidy up the x side of things, 3x and a plus 5x, it's going to give you an 8x plus 6. And the bottom stays the same. Okay, last one. Let's have a wee careful look at this. We've got 5 over x take away 2 over x squared. Now the temptation here is to go multiply the x by the x squared and go for x cubed. It will still work, but it leaves you more work. The common denominator that's easiest to work with is actually just x squared, because x divides into x squared. So if we go for that, now we haven't done anything to the x squared here, so the top stays exactly the same, so it stays as x take away 2. Over here, what do we multiply x by to get x squared? We times it by x, do the same to the top, so that's going to become a 5x. Now because I'm taking away x minus 2, I'm going to put it into brackets. That's just a nicer version of that. I'm going to put brackets around that when I put it all over the x squared. That's going to look like this. Now the reason I put it in brackets is because two things are being taken away from this, so you must put them in brackets for it mathematically to work. Really there's a 1 there. It's really negative 1 times that. So if you ever see a takeaway in front of a bracket, think of it as negative 1. So times out the bracket. So this will be a bit of a harder example here. The 5x stays as it is. This is going to become a takeaway x, and then negative 1 times negative 2 is a plus 2. It's going to be 5x, take away x, and a plus 2. Just do this bit here, the takeaway part, and you're going to get 4x plus 2 over x squared.